Hey guys, this is Chubbs, and today I thought I'd bring you all an early look at Driftland, the Magic Revival. The reason I say this is an early look is because this game just hit early access on Steam. I think it hit late in November, so it's still a relatively new game, and it's not totally finished. But I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys some gameplay just to give you an idea of what this game is like and what it has in store. Now, Driftland is pretty much like a kingdom builder with some traditional RTS elements in there. So you're building up a kingdom, you're trying to manage all these different resources, but you're also training combat units, and you're sending them out to attack and all those things. It sort of reminds me of the game Majesty, and it also has some elements from the Settlers games. So if you've ever played Majesty or any of the Settlers games, then you'll kind of know what you're getting into here. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's hop into a single player skirmish match. This is the only mode right now in the early access version. And we have two races to choose from. You have the humans and the dark elves. Now, I think there are some minor differences between these two. I've not found them to be all that different. They do have cosmetic differences. Their buildings look different and their units look different. They also have different soundtracks that play. Overall, though, I found that the gameplay experience is pretty similar. So for now, we're just going to go with the humans. Now you can also set up some different options here. You can go to advanced to show more options. For now, we're just going to stick with these basic options, just normal difficulty, the default map type and default map size. And let's go ahead and start the game, and I'll talk to you about what this is like. Okay, so here we are just starting out, and you can see our castle here, and we also have an explorer who's going around and taking the treasure on our starting island. Now, since this game is called Driftland, it is pretty much about all of these drifting lands or drifting islands. And the coolest part about this game is that you are playing as a mage, and you can cast these spells to sort of manipulate these islands and do other things. So we have an island up here, for example. You can see it's sort of shrouded in the fog of war, but it's pretty far away from us. So what I can do is I can go to my spells and I can cast the Magic Eye spell, and that sort of reveals the fog of war. And then I can cast this Arcane Current spell, and I can move this island wherever I want it to. I'm going to pan the camera down here, and I'm going to try and move this island close. And so you can see we are moving this entire island here with our magic. And what you can do when you get an island close enough is you can construct a bridge, and that of course allows your explorers and all of your other land units to cross the bridge and access the island's treasure chests and its resources. What you're mostly going to be doing in this game, though, is trying to manage your food and your gold. In order to get gold, you have to have people, and you pretty much sort of tax your people. And then, of course, in order to get food, you have to construct farms. So let's go ahead, let's build a few cottages, and this will increase our population. I'm just going to build 2 of them. And I'm also going to place a farm down. Now, when you construct farms and other resource buildings, you have to assign workers to them. So even though we're going to get more gold from these people here that are going to move into these cottages, we're going to have to assign some of those to this farm. And what that's going to do is that's going to take away the gold that the workers would normally be giving us if they were not working. So you can see right now, for example, we're getting plus 39 gold, but if I assign some workers, you can see it's gone down to plus 29. So that's where the balancing act comes in. Assigning workers basically removes the gold that they give you, but you start to get the resource that they are working for. So in this case, if I assign people here at the farm, it's going to give me extra food. Of course, you also have other resources here at the top. You have mana, wood, stone, coal, iron, diamonds, and rubies. And most of these resources, like the coal, iron, diamond resources, and mana, you have to uncover those manually with your explorers by doing geology. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So you can see our explorer here is just walking around, not really doing anything. If I right click and I place this geology flag, that tells this explorer to go here and start scouring this island here, this specific island, for resources. Now I can also go ahead and place some other geology flags, and what he will do is he will, when he finishes with this one, he will automatically move on to this flag. Now what we can also do is we can go to our castle and we can recruit another explorer, and this does cost gold, and each unit that you have requires upkeep, but this allows you to basically multitask. So when this explorer comes out of my castle, he will be the one to take up this task, and that way I will basically have two explorers doing geology simultaneously. So you can see this new guy is going up to this island, so now he's going to work here, and this guy is going to work here to uncover resources. Now if you look in the upper left hand corner, we're not doing good on food. I'm going to assign some more food workers, and now we're doing alright, so we're sort of in the green. Next I'm going to construct some bridges. I'm going to cross over to these islands that are already close to us, and by default, without performing geology, the only two resources that you can see on an island are stone and wood or lumber. So you can see this island here has a lot of lumber on it. You can also see it there at the top of the screen near the middle. It has 1.3K lumber. And this island over here, you can see this big mountain. That's usually a lot of stone, I think it is. Yeah, stone. So if we hover over this island and you look at the top of the screen, this only has 317 lumber, but it has 1.3K stone. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to construct a lumberjack here on this island, and a stone cutter or a stone worker on this island. And let's go ahead and let's do that. So let's go to our buildings. We'll place a lumberjack right here, that way he can harvest these trees, and then we're going to place a stone mason right here, and he will work on this island. Now we've also recovered or uncovered some resources, so what I'm going to do is since my explorers are busy, I'm going to construct a knight's garrison, and I'm going to hire a knight, and that way he can go out and explore while my explorers are busy doing their geology. So what I need to do first is I need to upgrade my castle. Some of the buildings have prerequisites, like you can see this knight's garrison requires a level 2 castle, so that's what I'm working on right now. My food is also starting to get dangerously low. What you can do is you can construct a new farm, or you can upgrade the farm you have. Now each level of upgrade requires a new level of castle. Since we just upgraded our castle, we're good to go on the farm, so I'm going to upgrade it. And basically whenever you upgrade a farm or upgrade like any resource building, it increases the number of workers you can have. Right now we're maxed out at 5, but when this upgrade finishes we can increase it to I think it increases it to 10 total. So let's see here, it's almost done. There we go. So now you can see we have 5 out of 10 workers. I'm going to assign a few more, that way we're not going down into the red. And since we have our level 2 castle, I'm going to go ahead and build a knight's garrison. I'm going to place a new geology flag over here just for when one of these guys finishes. And as soon as this knight's garrison is complete, I'm going to recruit a knight, and he's going to go over here and take care of these treasure chests, and these will give me different resources. This one will give me some wood and some stone, and this one will give me some coal and some iron. So our knight's garrison's finished. I'm going to recruit a knight, and he should come out here in just a second. And whenever a unit doesn't have anything, like whenever a unit has no flags to follow, they will sort of act on their own accord. So this knight, if he has nothing else to do, he will just automatically go out and start opening treasure chests. And if there are no treasure chests, then a unit with no orders will just sort of wander around aimlessly. So they'll just be pretty more or less like idling, just walking around your kingdom. So you can see him going out here and opening these treasure chests. You can also see this red exclamation mark over my stonemason, and there's also one over here over my lumberjack, and that tells me that we don't have any workers assigned. Let's go ahead and let's take care of that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to max them out. I'm just going to put 2 on lumber and 1 on stone. And this is where the balancing act comes in, because again, the more workers you have, the less gold you have, because people give you gold, or like regular citizens give you gold, but workers do not. So like for example, we're getting plus 28. If I max out my stone cutters or my stone masons, it's going all the way down to plus 14. So you gotta sort of balance it out as you go. Anyways, that's sort of the gist of building up an empire. So now let's go and let's take a look at a larger dark elf empire that I've set up, and let's see how it plays when it comes to the combat. Alright, so here we are at my dark elf empire, and if I zoom all the way out, you can see that I have spanned numerous islands, and I also have numerous structures and combat units. One thing that's kind of cool about this game is that you can see a unit list by going here to the upper left hand corner, and you can sort these units, and it shows you what level they are, what their current task is, and all those things. So if I sort the units by their type, you can see that I have 2 melee combat units and I have 1 ranged combat unit. These other 2 are explorers. Now speaking of the combat, this empire has been harassed recently by wild eagles that have been flying in. And in this game, as you play, the AI opponent will do his own thing, but you'll also be attacked by barbarians, eagles, dragons, and all kinds of different creatures, so you have to fend them off and also worry about the AI opponent at the same time. So I think the eagle has been coming from here. I think it's just 1 eagle. You can see the island sort of shrouded in the fog of war. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and cast my magic eye spell and reveal this island, and then I'm going to send some combat units over to take that guy out, because that eagle has been a real nuisance. So I'm first going to cast the magic eye spell, and there he is. We found him. So that's the wild eagle that has been harassing me. And what we can do is we can, we could normally do the arcane current spell, and we could move the island close, and then we could build a bridge. But what I'm going to show you guys is the second way you can do this. So what you can do is you can cast magic to basically create like a teleport or a gate that leads from one island to the next. So I'm going to place the, I'll place the entrance right here in my own territory, and then I'm going to go over here to this island where the eagle's at, and that is where the exit will be. So this is basically like a two-way teleport. My units can come through this one and end up over here, and then when they're finished with their business, they can go right back and re-enter the kingdom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place a combat flag down, and I'm going to increase the reward here to give my combat units some incentive to come over. And you can already see that 3 have been dispatched, and they will come right through. They will walk through the portal, and then they will end up over here, and they will fight this eagle, and hopefully they will kill it off and end my misery for good. Now, one thing that's cool about this is you can see that the eagle has an eagle nest, and your units can capture these nests, and when you do that, you can recruit your own eagles, and when your units get to a certain level, they can actually mount the eagles that you recruit and start flying them around and attacking, up in the air. So that's really cool. Looks like my units already kicked the eagle's butt without too much problem, and they also captured the eagle nest. So if I click on it and highlight this, you can see that I can recruit an eagle, but it cost 20 diamond or 20 ruby, and right now you can see I have no rubies. You can uncover rubies by using the geology that I talked about. So if I go to my resource buildings and I pull up a ruby mine, if I click on that, I can zoom out and sort of look at the islands that have rubies. Now the islands here in the red, you can see like the red outline, that means they have none, but the ones with green or even yellow borders, that means they have some rubies. So this one here, since it's green, that means it has a decent supply, and it sort of tells you there. You can see near where my mouse cursor's at, it says 240. That's how many rubies are here on this island. So let's place a ruby mine right here, and I can go ahead and when that mine is finished, I can assign some workers there, and I will start to earn some rubies, and eventually when I have enough, I can come over and I can recruit an eagle. But that is just a little look at how the combat works. You basically place an attack flag down, you can increase the reward, and that tells your combat units to come over to that flag. But that that sort of covers the basics of this game. I thought I'd just give you all a quick and early look at it. It's still a work in progress. So far I really like what I see. I mean, it feels like a polished game. I like the way the game looks. You know, I like this style with the floating islands. I love how you can cast the magic to move the islands around, and the performance has also been outstanding. I mean, I've never dropped below 60 FPS, even like with gigantic empires. I've built empires much larger than this, and not once have I dropped below 60. And here I am talking, and guess what? We're being attacked by another eagle. So there's another eagle nest out here on one of these islands. Looks like my guys have come over automatically though and are taking care of the problem. There he goes. He's flying away like a wuss. I'm going to go ahead and cast a fireball spell. And I didn't kill him, but I hurt him. Anyways, that's it. If you guys have any questions about this game, feel free and post them below. Thanks for watching, and this is Chubb signing out.